even just with your friends, if you just want to play some rock riffs, you still want those rock riffs to lock in and sound good. And whatever you're communicating in that riff, you want it to get across clearly. And the best way to do that is to focus on the feel. Bass is not bass without feel. Without feel, it's just notes. It's a bunch of notes.
Hello and welcome to ForBassPlayersOnly.com. I'm John Liebman, and I help people over 50 who want to play bass and have some fun with it. Great interview this week. Brandon Rose, young man originally from the Detroit area who has done so much. You're going to love this interview. Very inspiring. And I've seen him grow up since he was a very young child. That's coming up in just a second. But first, if you've ever wanted to learn bass, you should know that right now there are thousands of people inside the For Bass Players Only community, men and women in their 50s, 60s, 70s. I've even got students in their 80s. And you know what they're doing? They're learning bass. They're having the time of their life playing music that they love. Come join them and experience that incredible transformation for yourself. As I always say, you're never too old to groove, so let's play bass. Brandon Rose is a bassist, vocalist, producer, composer, and arranger from Detroit, Michigan. His musical versatility makes him a standout artist across many genres, everything from jazz, gospel, R&B to funk, hip hop, and pop. He is a great upright and electric doubler. He's collaborated with Lucas Graham, Keon Harold, Patrice Rushen, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dan Wilson, Etienne Charles, the Baylor Project, more recently with Julius Rodriguez, and he's on John Batiste's latest record, Do It All Again is the song. Having both a bachelor's and master's degree in jazz studies from Michigan State University, Brandon's journey has been enriched by the mentorship of renowned bass legends Marcus Miller and Rodney Whitaker. Throughout 2025, Brandon's been releasing singles of his original music while appearing at places like the Tokyo Blue Note and the DC Jazz Festival. Check out his stuff on Spotify and on Apple Music. Here's my interview with B Rose, Brandon Rose. Enjoy. Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to see you, John.
Good to see you too. I can't believe we're here because I've seen you once or twice a year, every year for the last, what, 20 years or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
Your dad, your dad is a great guy and he obviously encouraged you to pursue a career in music. Because I would see you guys together at the NAMM shows and I don't know if did he take you to Bass Player Live also?
Bass player live. Yeah, we
Okay.
did Summer Nam one year too.
Okay. I've gone to a bunch of those. It was so
Yeah.
hot in Nashville in
Yeah,
July or whenever it was. And you happen to be from the Motor City, which is where I
correct.
grew up. So I remember seeing you at a Marcus Miller concert one time. And I was at the first set, and I think I heard afterwards. I didn't know that you were going to sit in with him afterwards, or I might have stayed, but it was that's probably past my bedtime or
Yeah.
what. But let's fill in the gaps. Let's go back to the earliest recollection that you have. Tell me about your musical upbringing and your initial exposure to music. Is your dad a musician or just a music fan? Do you come from a music family? Do you have brothers and sisters that inspired you with, records or CDs or other music coming from their bedrooms? Did your parents take you to watch concerts? Just
Yeah,
let me know what that was all about for you.
sure. Yeah, so I grew up going to church at Word of Faith International Christian Center in Southfield, Michigan.
Corner
And
of 9 Mile and Evergreen.
and that's right. That's right. And my dad ran sound there. So as a young kid, I was always at the church early. So I'm seeing the praise team rehearse, do sound check. I'm seeing the band warm up. Uh, and just from doing that continuously, I I just kept locking eyes with the bass player, Henry Robinson. Um, and the technique of electric bass is slap bass. So there was a lot of songs that Henry would just slap bass. So I would walk.
You were about how old at this point?
I was probably like three or four.
Oh, gee, I thought you were gonna say 10, 12. Okay.
Yeah, no, three or four. And yeah, I was just captivated by this technique. So I'm running around the church, air slap bassing. I'll see Henry, and I'm like,
I love it.
oh, and then it was Christmas. I think I was five. And I was five, about to turn six, actually. And I asked my dad for a bass for Christmas. So he looked at me. He was like, What you gonna do with a bass?" And I was like, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play the bass." So Christmas came around. I had this. I got this blue. I forgot the brand, but it was a blue four string beginner bass with a small. I don't remember what amp it was. I think it was a small Fender amp, like really, really tiny, maybe even a Squire. I don't know. So I got that, and immediately the bass player at the church, Henry Robinson, my dad asked him if he did lessons. So I started taking lessons from Henry, and within like the first lesson, Henry told my dad, uh, yeah, he's a natural or something like that, like something in that vein. And we just kept at it. I was learning like play that funky music, white boy, uh, some other funk tunes, just learning the technique. And I think when I was seven, that was the first time that I played at church. They set me up in front on the stage. I think I was playing for the youth choir. Uh, I had like this mint green outfit on. I had upgraded basses, so I had this like deep blue. It kind of looked purple. I had this deep blue purple bass with a white uh pick guard, and yeah, those are like the moments that I remember the most of just how the journey started. And yeah, I kept studying with Henry, kept playing at church until I got sat down because there was a change of music directors, and one of like the new music director at the church, after I was coming to all of the rehearsals, I was learning the music. I was expected to play on Sunday. I walk in on Sunday and there's another bass player in the bass seat. So I'm like, oh, I got my bass on me. My dad goes up, try to figure out what's going on. And the music director said, oh, only professionals can be on this stage. So I think I was around 10, 10 or 11 then. Um, so the old music director, he took a new position at another church at Triumph. Dana Davis. Shout out to Dana Davis. Uh, and he heard about what happened. He was like, okay, like you can come over here to Triumph and, you know, get some playing time. So I started playing for Triumph on the regular. I was doing like I think it was four services, might have been five, every Sunday, not just for youth. I was playing for the mass choir, for uh, like the main praise team, really just their bass player. Um, and Dana, I credit him a lot because he invested in me at a young age, and he saw something where, he didn't just let my talent go to waste. So he was active and just making sure I was checking out the different gospel songs and how to learn songs properly, how to use my ear, how to listen and react differently during a service. Um, so yeah, kept playing at Triumph. And what else? And then for a minute in high school, I quit. I took a year where I wasn't really playing at all. Like I would still play at church, but I wasn't practicing. I wasn't really trying to play bass. Um, because it got to the point where my dad was excited about it and like really passionate about, just me advancing and learning. Um, but I was at a place of like, yo, I just want to be a kid. Like I'm in here on a summer day learning, you know, we're gonna burn this disco down. And all my friends are either on Xbox or outside playing. I'm like, yo, I want to be a kid. So I was playing basketball. I thought I was gonna go to the league. My parents got me into like AAU. Uh, and then I kept doing that, kind of, coming back to the bass and playing every once in a while, still playing at church, but not really serious about it. I'm like, I'm not really gonna pursue music at all. Um, and then around my senior year of high school, I know we just jumped, but it was more of the
No,
same.
I think that's very healthy actually that you did that because otherwise you
Yeah,
wouldn't have had a chance to be a kid. What high
exactly.
school did you go to, by the way?
I went to Chippewa Valley.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was another part of it too, because Chippewa Valley, the minute that I got to Chippewa, they got rid of their jazz program. So it was like an after school program that they were running that just stopped. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to play band music anymore. Like I did that in middle school. I did that all through elementary and like, intro to music. Um, so yeah, I was kind of just done with music, really. Uh, and yeah, but my senior year, I was playing varsity basketball in 11th grade. I didn't really play that much. I was on the bench. But senior year, I told my coach, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna play this year, because it was time. Like it took a lot of time. I probably could have played, looking back, I could have played and had a great senior year, but I chose to just hang the shoes up and just get back to playing bass. And even for like once college started coming up, I still wasn't thinking about pursuing music in college. I was thinking about going to like a business school or computer science, computer engineering. And I applied to Michigan for computer engineering, got rejected immediately. But then a mentor of mine, Carrie Lacey, you probably know Carrie.
Oh yeah, I know Kerry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
big
Carrie,
personality. He's always very
yeah,
active. All the bass hangs. Yeah,
he knows everybody.
yeah.
He knows everybody. But yeah, that's a longtime mentor of mine. And he called me and was like, yo, you need to go to Michigan State. And I'm like, I'm a Michigan fan. I'm not going to Michigan State. What's in East Lansing? I'm not trying to be in East Lansing, whatever. Uh, and at the same time, I had saw a commercial on Berkeley. I was just on YouTube one night and a Berkeley commercial popped up. And then I started looking at all of the Berkeley videos. I'm like, yo, that looks dope. I'm trying to do that. So that was the moment I was like, okay, I'm gonna lock in and actually go to school for music, but I want to go to Berkeley, like hands down. Um, Applied for Berkeley, got in. So much like we got so far in it that my parents paid the down payment, like to reserve my spot, which was a non-refundable payment. And then Carrie was like, "No, you need to go talk to Rodney, go get a meeting with Rodney." And I'm like,
Rodney
"All right,
Whitaker.
Rodney Whitaker." And so me and my pops, we drive up, we have a meeting with Big Money, and he's like, "Yeah, man, we love to have you, man. You gotta, but you gotta play upright if you come to this program, man. We're swinging. We're a swinging program, man." And I'm like, upright. I did not have an upright. I the only times that I had played upright up to that point were the University of Michigan bass bashes, where uh what's my man's name?
Bob Hurst.
Rob Hurst. Yeah. He was the bass player there, bass professor there. And I went to that maybe like three or four times. But I think the first two times I was playing electric there. And like the last two, I like tickled a upright bass, like not making any noise on it at all. Um, but yeah, he was like, we love that we love your abilities on electric, but you would have to learn upright if you came to this program. Uh, and then Carrie actually sold me my first upright, I think for like $1,000. My dad got it for me. And then Prof Whitaker gave me some exercises to work out, some solos to transcribe. And I think I think I had like two lessons with him before going to audition. And I didn't like jazz. I didn't like upright. I did not like swing. I didn't like any of that. I grew up on gospel, R&B, like just like old school R&B too. Hip hop, and my
Can we
dad,
go off on a tangent here? Who were the
yes.
bass players you were listening to? Or like
Um,
Hammond or Andrew Boucher or who were
oh
you?
yeah. All of those cats.
Who else?
Fred Hammond, Andre Goucher, Victor Wooten, Marcus Miller,
Yeah.
Stanley Clark, Wayman Tisdale, Snoop.
He was a basketball player, not Snoop,
He
but
was
Wayne.
Wayman. Yep. Yeah, Snoop. Uh, who else?
Snoop. So Bubby Brister, Bubby, no, Bubby Brister was the football player. Bubby, what's
Lewis.
his? Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Bubby Brister was the
Bubby.
quarterback for the Pirates back in the like early 80s. Not the Pirates, Jesus, the
Oh, come on.
Steelers.
Yeah. Okay. I follow. I got you. Yeah, I
Okay.
know Bubby.
He's
Yeah, I
from
was listening to
Michigan.
Bubby, Jocko, uh, Michael League with Snarky Puppy. Uh, who else?
I don't think of the gospel first thing when I hear some of those names, but some
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was listening to like smooth jazz or like something that I didn't know was considered jazz, like Snarky Puppy or Jocko, even Marcus Miller. Like a lot of his stuff, it has hip hop and R&B on the
yeah,
bottom, but jazz on top. But I'm listening and I'm like, oh, this is funky. So I'm
yeah.
like, oh, I don't like jazz. I didn't like this. Ting, 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 ting. I would
Jazz
never,
jazz. Yeah.
yeah, I would never listen to that. Um, but yeah, that's who I was checking out. Like I was learning all of I guess I skipped this part. I was learning like all of Marcus Miller's songs, solos, so much to the point like when I would go to Bass Player or NAM and I'd sit down at some booths, videos would be captured of me and they would title it like, oh, Little Marcus, like Little Marcus Miller. It's young Marcus. I played my solos for Marcus when I first met him. And like that's how that mentorship happened. Um, and a lot of it was just my dad like sending Marcus videos of me playing
Really?
his, yeah. My dad really got me to where I am today, honestly, because
Well, I
he
could see
saw
that.
it.
I saw
Yeah,
it firsthand year after year after year.
yeah.
Is he a player too, or is he just
He's
a
not a
music?
player. So my uncle is the only other musician in the family. Uh, he's in prison, but he would always like send me a whole bunch of music to listen to. Some music that I probably should have listened to, but I never did. Uh,
Like,
just because it was a lot. I mean, like he first told me about Lettuce. Um, he told me about Lettucey, who I'm working with now. Uh, who else? George Duke. He sent me some Andre Goucher stuff. Uh, some like old school, like fusion, jazz slash hip hop stuff. Uh, yeah, it's like I mean, he's passionate too. So when he sends his letters or we're on the phone, it's like rapid fire, like, oh, you gotta check this person out, and then this and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay. I
Do
I
you have
I
any brothers or sisters?
I have two older sisters. Two older sisters. Both married. One lives in Pennsylvania and has a kid, and the other one lives in Michigan. She has two kids. Um, but none of
Any
them
no music?
music. No.
Okay.
I think they played my oldest sister, she played flute, and my middle sister, she played saxophone, I think, but just in like band, like high school, middle school band, and that was it. So
When I saw your dad at the Detroit Jazz Festival, I got to meet your mom for the first time.
yeah,
Be musical?
no,
No. Okay.
no, not
Not
at
trying to
all.
be funny, I'm just asking a question.
No, no, she's a sweetheart. No, she's
Yeah.
not musical. She's not musical at all. She'll sing like around the crib, but
Yeah.
nah.
So what's keeping you busy these days?
Well, these days, I'm in LA, spending a lot of time here and in New York. So I go back and forth quite a bit. Um, yeah, just working with different artists, while also still keeping an eye on my projects. I produce, I songwrite, I record, vocal arrange. I arrange for different artists. I just did my first album that I arranged the entire album, for this French vocalist. It should be coming out soon. Um, but yeah, just staying busy. Really, this past year, it's about to be a year coming up in October, or actually the end of September, um, since just being on the road. Like this time last year was my first time going on tour in Europe, like actually on tour. I went to Europe before for a different project. It was called the EU Street Project, where it was a bunch of musicians, that somebody found on the internet. They flew us out and we just performed in the streets. But it
Wow.
wasn't like I wasn't with an artist, touring. So yeah, this past fall was my first time on tour. Uh, and in a matter of a year, my life just completely changed. And I saw like half of the world on like every continent almost. I went to Europe, I went to Africa, I went to Asia.
Wow.
Yeah, we hit a lot of places in Europe. We went to China, Japan, and then I went to Africa with another artist. But mainly it was playing with Julius Rodriguez, um, and the Baylor Project.
Yeah.
Uh, and we got some more stuff coming up. Like I just got back from St. Louis and Austin. I was playing with Dan Wilson in Austin, Texas,
Yeah.
and played with the Baylor Project in St. Louis. But this upcoming weekend, I'll be at the Pittsburgh Jazz Festival, with Dan Wilson. We're doing a tribute to George Benson. And then in
He's
North
from
Carolina,
Pittsburgh, right?
huh?
Isn't he from Pittsburgh, George
I
Benson?
think he's from Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, but yeah,
When
and then the Baylor Project, we're going to South Africa coming
wow.
up. And then I'm back in Europe, in October
None of
with
this surprises me because I knew right from the first or maybe the second time I saw you when you were only
yeah,
tall that you were going places. When
yeah,
you went to LA and New York back and forth, did you have anything lined up or did you just, I used to say, I want to go with my bass in one hand and my toothbrush in the other. Here I
yeah,
am. What do you got?
yeah.
Was it like
It
that for
was
you? Or
it was pretty much that. Yeah, I went to New York first. Um, just because a whole bunch of people were like, okay, we know you want to go to LA, but you should probably check out New York first, because that's the hub. And at first it wasn't looking like I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend a summer in New York. That's all I'm gonna give. And it wasn't looking like New York was gonna happen because I couldn't find housing. Um, and that was the main thing. I just could not find housing. And yeah, I prayed about it. I'm really spiritual. And I get counsel from God on everything. So I prayed about it. I was like, yo, God, I want to spend this summer in New York, but
you said, yo, God?
yeah. I talk to God like he's my friend. My Bible say we're friends of God. So I talk to God. I'm like, yo, God, uh, I want to go to New York this summer, but I have no way of like staying there. Like I need a place. Like if this is what you want me to do, like you're gonna have to open a door for me to get a place. So I kind of like disregarded the idea, and out of nowhere, one of my friends hit me up. Um, a friend that I knew from doing A Wonderful World, the pre-Broadway Broadway play of A Wonderful World about Louis Armstrong. Um, but he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, I remember you said you're looking for a spot. I'm actually leaving for like 2.5 months. My room is available these dates." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." So I pull up. I lock that in. I pull up. I have nothing lined up. The only thing I have is 3 nights at Dizzy's with ATN. Other than that, there's nothing. I'm literally out there on faith, like completely. And I get there. At first, I'm like, oh, I don't like this. Like, I want to come back home. I'm seeing it was like around 4th of July, and my parents are my whole family's like barbecuing and shooting off fireworks, and they're FaceTiming me, and I'm like, dang, like I want to be there. But and within 2 weeks, it just completely changed. I did the 3 nights with ATN, and then after that, my boy Alfonso Horn hit me up for a tour in South Carolina. And then after that, I had like a couple of dates in Detroit. And then I got the call from Julius, and he was like, "Yo, where are you gonna be this fall? You want to come to Europe?" And I was like, "Okay." And then he hit me again. He was like, "Where are you gonna be in November? You want to come to Japan and China?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then it's just been that ever since. Ever since.
So
And then
what
I
took
moved.
you to LA? It sounds like things were happening when you were based in New York.
They were and are. They still are. I just always wanted to be in LA, and the lifestyle of New York was starting to get like it was cool, but I really didn't want to spend a winter in New York like at all. And my girlfriend lives in LA, so
Ah,
we
now we're
we have been
getting
doing
okay.
we have been doing long distance for a minute too. Um,
Is she
so
musical?
she's not musical.
Okay.
She's not musical. She can hold a note, but she's not musical. But yeah, it just felt like, okay, well, I've done some time in New York. I can still come back. I set up shop where I still have an upright bass in New York. And I still had gigs in New York that I could just fly back to from LA. And I have a place to stay. I have my bass. Like it's
You
all good.
can get on the
Um,
subway with your upright bass in New York.
yeah.
That's
It's
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 fun.
different. Like it builds character. It builds character. There was one night I had a gig in Brooklyn, and I did not want to spend any money on a Uber. The Uber probably would have costed like $80 just to get back to where I was staying. And I remember I walked for 40 minutes from the venue to the nearest train station just
No
to take
wheel
the.
on the upright bass?
I got a will. I got a
Okay.
will. Yeah. Um, but yeah, like 40 minutes just walking. And I walked up like this little hill, like a overpass of a freeway, and then found the nearest subway, took the train, and then took the train for like an hour, 15 minutes back back to the crib. So it builds character, and like if you're not trying to spend money, like you can commit to a plan. Like you have to. Like New York is gonna make you stick to your guns.
You
Um,
remind me when I first went down to Miami, I was brand new there. I had no money, I had no food. I got a couple of gigs. I got like $50 together. You know what I did with the $50? I bought
what?
a wheel for my bass, for my upright bass.
See? That's smart. That's smart. Yeah.
I
But
used to get those condensed cans of soup for like 79 cents. You add a can
yeah.
full of water and stir it up, and that was
Oh shoot. That's a different time.
yeah, yeah, well, 1984, something like that. So what's going
Wow.
on in LA? Here's something about you and John Batiste. Aren't you on his new record?
Yeah. So in LA, I'm really just trying to plug in with like the production and session scene. So there's a producer that I work with out here named Kizzo. And I was actually working with Kizzo originally for my own project a couple years ago. I was mainly rapping, and there was a deal that was presented to me that just didn't feel right. Uh, so I turned that down, but he was able to just like keep rocking with me as a bass player. So he called me in to just lay bass for whatever he was working on. And actually, like right when I moved to LA in January, I went to NAMM and John Batiste was performing, like closing out the night. Um, and Kizzo was there because Kizzo produced John Batiste's album We Are, that won all the Grammys. Um, and so I'm chilling with Kizzo, and now we're backstage. We're watching the show. It's a good time. Show ends. John Batiste walks off, and Kizzo's like, "Yo, like, let me introduce you. Like, you know Brandon." And I'm like, I've never met John. I've never met him until that moment. So I'm like, oh, like I don't really, he probably doesn't know me or whatever. And John was like, yeah, I know B Rose. I know about, and like to Kizzo's surprise, to the songwriter Autumn, her surprise, it was like, oh, okay, like what we working with? So then John was just like, yo, we got to get Brandon on the next record. Like let's get him on the album. And like from there, that's what started happening. So Kizzo would call me in to do a couple sessions. Uh, I think only one song was kept for this latest album. I think the album's called Big Money, and the song that I'm on is Do It All Again. Um, but yeah, they kept it, and yeah, now I'm
Awesome.
on John Batista's album. It's super
That's
dope.
incredible. Yeah. Hey, I gotta
Yeah.
ask you, did he just say B Rose, or is that what people call you, or did that just come out on the spur of the moment from him?
That's what people call me. B Rose. Like it's kind of just
I
the
like it.
shortened nickname. Nobody wants to say Brandon Rose. They're like, "Oh, B Rose. What's up, B Rose?"
I like it. Tell me a little bit about your gear. I think I used to bump into you at the EBS booth at the beginning.
Yeah.
You're an EBS guy, right?
Yes, sir. I'm new to the family. I think I joined about a year and a half ago now. But yeah, I got the EBS amp right back here. I use the Magni 502 combo
Yeah.
amp. When I'm on tour and they're able to backline EBS, I'm usually using the 752. Uh, I don't know how to pronounce it. The Reinhard,
Uh,
Reinbard.
some, something in
Uh,
Swedish.
yeah, something like that. With like a 410 cabinet. But I also use let me see if I got it. Yeah, I use the Stanley Clark acoustic preamp.
Nice.
And this is clutch because I do a lot of doubling. So I'll play electric and upright on most of the gigs that I'm on. So here it's a preamp so I can control my tone. And no matter where I go, no matter what amp I plug into, I can always get my like exact sound that I want. But it's also a A/B switch. So I typically go electric through the B,
Yeah.
upright through the A, and then I can dial it in here. It's one output with a XLR out, but
Yeah.
typically like the sound engineers, they're able to still run two signals, like however they do their sound engineering magic
That
on
sounds
that.
very practical.
Yeah,
EB.
it,
I
it's
happen to
great.
know I happen to know firsthand that the folks at EBS think very highly of you.
Really.
I was talking to Ralph Burbo recently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ralphie.
he's watched you like we all have. We watched you come up.
Yeah,
What about your instruments? You still playing that blue bass with the white pick guard?
I'm not. I'm playing I'm playing Sadowski.
Ooh,
Boom.
I
And I've
love
always wanted a Sadowski. I got this probably like 10, 10 or 11 years ago. And yeah, I call her Sandy. This is Sandy. I kind of leave Sandy at the crib. So then I just got this one.
I love the Sadowskis. I love Roger too.
Yo, Roger, that's the homie. Yeah, he's invested in me a lot. Like he saw potential and said, "Yo, how can I help out?" So now I got this. This is for when I travel, because I don't want to travel with my more expensive
I can't tell how
Sadowski.
many string. That's another five also.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this is the Metro Express series. So
Yep,
it's a little cheaper line, but still great quality, you know.
absolutely.
But yeah, I use Sadowski. I use DR strings.
Ah,
Um, I'm with Groove Gear as well.
I
So
saw that. I could see the logo over your shoulder there.
yeah,
DR Strings. Did Marcus happen to have any influence over your choice of DR Strings? Isn't that what he plays?
yeah. Well, I think Marcus is with Dunlop now.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, definitely when the early days when we were running around Bass Player Live and NAM,
yeah.
uh, Marcus was with DR during that time. So that was definitely an influence. And DR has been great. They've been rocking with me since I was little, providing me with strings and just the family vibe there is,
Yep, literally the Drums
yeah,
family. Yeah, nice people.
yeah, really, really, really solid people. My boy Anthony.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the gear.
What about amps though? You mentioned the pedal and the preamp, but you use EBS amps too.
I use EBS amps too. Yeah. Let me see how to pronounce that one. It's EBS 752. Yeah, right. I think Ridemar.
Okay.
Ridemar. Like when I'm on tour, that's what I would request backline. EBS 752 Ridemar.
There you
Um,
go.
but just around like locally, I'm using the combo amp. It's a Magni 502. It's like I think it's a two by 10
Okay.
speaker built in.
That'll
Um,
get it done.
yeah, it's punchy and it's it's punchy, but it's small too. Like it's compact, so it works. I finally figured out how to dial it in so I can get a good tone on upright and a good tone on electric. So
Great. Let's
pretty solid.
switch gears for a minute, as I want to ask you about people who want to learn bass. For
Mm,
Bass Players Only, as you know, is a bass instruction site. And I've got people from all over the world, a little older than you. Most are, I joke, I say most are over 50, but a lot of them are older than over 50. So I've
mm,
got students in their 60s, 70s. I've got students in their 80s, men
mm,
and women, and they're not trying to make a career out of being a professional musician. You know what
mm,
they want to do? They want to play some classic rock riffs with their buddies. They want to play
mm,
some blues shuffles. They want to play some funk R&B. Some are into slapping, some are into walking bass, but they want to play their music. And you know what? A lot of times when people get to that age, things like arthritis, tendonitis, and things that, the wear and tear on the body. So I'm telling you this just to give you a context because I want to ask you. You were mentored by Marcus and Rodney and the others that you mentioned. What advice do you have for those people who want to learn to play bass? What kind of goals should they be setting? What should they be thinking about? What should be their approach?
mm. Yeah. Uh, One, I love that. I think bass is a great instrument. Everybody should learn it. Um, I think the main thing is, yeah, keep the fun of learning to play. Like, don't get overwhelmed by all of the information that's out there, all of the different techniques that are out there. Some people can play ridiculously fast with a lot of language. Some people can slap their butts off and almost break a bass, but still make it like funky. But that could be, intimidating, especially at the start. And it could also be a desired destination that you need there's prerequisites to get there. Like you gotta get the foundation. So I would say if you're learning bass, just focus on the foundation. Find some of your favorite songs that have really dope bass lines that you like. Start with something that you like, because that's the only way that you're gonna stay committed to learning. But yeah, find some songs you like with some nice bass lines, and just really get into the sound and the feel of the bass. Because what I see a lot is people who are learning bass or like trying to play bass for the first time, they'll get some of the notes, but the feeling is not there at all. And I don't I mean I've heard so many times that like you can't teach feeling. Um but that might I don't know. I feel like you can teach feeling. You just gotta know what feels good and then trust your ear to play what sounds and feels good. So listen to the records and play with records. Learn the bass line exactly the way it is, and just keep playing it until it feels like the record. Because that, like, once you get on the gig, on the bandstand, even just with your friends, if you just want to play some rock riffs, you still want those rock riffs to lock in and sound good, and whatever you're communicating in that riff, you want it to get across clearly. And the best way to do that is to focus on the feel. Bass is not bass without feel. Without feel, it's just notes. It's a bunch of notes. Um, but yeah, I would say that feel is so important.
That's golden. I love everything you said. The only thing I would add to that is you have to be careful when you're playing along with the record and it feels good. Turn off the record and then play it, because it's very easy to think that when
Yeah,
you're playing along with Marcus or whoever it is, that you're the one making it feel good, and that
yeah,
may not always be the case. So play
that's true.
along with the record, then turn off the record and play it by yourself and see if it still feels as good. And if it
Yeah.
doesn't, then record yourself or strive for that. But I love that advice.
Yes. Record yourself. Record yourself playing. Can't stress that enough. If you record yourself playing, it's like looking in the mirror.
If you're brave enough to listen back
If
to
you're brave enough to listen back, yeah, it's
it.
literally like there's been times where I thought I killed something. I'm like, yeah, I learned this transcription crazy. Like it sounds so good. And then I listen back to what I played and I'm like, oh, I missed this note. I kind of like overstretched here, like whatever. And then there's been on the flip side, like times where I felt like it was just trash. And I listened back and I'm like, oh, that was actually pretty killing. So yeah, learn your favorite songs, even just like lock in with a metronome, because a lot of feel comes from time and playing with time. There's playing in time and playing with time. Once you like get comfortable with playing with time, you can like time becomes like a playing card. You can just kind of throw it in where you want because you know where it's at. So you can do some different stuff, and it opens up a whole new world. But being able to just have good time is I feel like that's a prerequisite to feel. If you got good time, you can work on getting good feel. But if you got good feel and no time, then you're gonna be grooving by yourself. And I don't know what to tell you at that point.
And I love that. And yeah, I liked jazz before I went to school. I assume that you acquired a taste for it, a liking
Oh
for
yeah,
it. Okay, but because what
yeah,
I remember was it was like floating time and implied time. You
hmm,
both know, you and the drummer both know where each other is, even if you're not hitting the downbeat every time. You're kind of
yeah.
floating over it and having this interplay and building up, and then boom, the two
Boom.
of you together. Oh, it's just awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I definitely acquired a taste for jazz, like after just spending so much time checking out records, having the conversations, just about the history. The history, I'll say the history is what made me like open my ear more to jazz. Because
You
even like in the
mentioned Louis
first,
Armstrong. That's about as far back as you can go. So,
yeah. But like I like even just like, man, just seeing black excellence within the music, that's what kept me like, because I could see myself. That was like the first time I could see myself in something. I'm like, yo, like all these people, like they did this, they did that, they moved here, they moved from here, they made this impact, and like they have the same color as me. Like, wow, like I think I fit in this space. So then like once I had that locked in, I'm like, okay, well, I want to check this out. I want to check this out. And I still have so much to check out. Uh like it's endless. And sometimes it can feel overwhelming. Like there's just, especially with how accessible things are now, I could go to Spotify, just type in jazz, and there's like millions of records that just pop up. So for me, sometimes I kind of panic and I don't really know where to start. Uh, but yeah, I would just encourage people like if if you don't have the taste for jazz, just keep listening, keep checking stuff out, find an entry point. Because my entry point was Marcus Miller and Miles Davis. So once I understood that, I'm like, oh, well, let me dive into Miles Davis a little more. Oh, Ron Carter also played with Miles Davis. What? Wow, that's so my whole actually my whole graduate recital was based on Marcus Miller and Ron Carter. And I called it was in this theme of paragon, which is a mathematical term that means full circle. Uh, so I thought it was interesting that I started playing electric bass and Marcus Miller was my guy. And then I come to Michigan State and I learn about Ron Carter, who becomes my guy on upright. And they both have this connection to Miles Davis. So it felt like a full circle moment for me. So
beautiful. I love
yeah.
that. I assume Paul Chambers was on your
Oh
radar too.
yeah. Paul Chambers, Ray Brown, Christian McBride,
Yeah.
Mingus, Dave Holland,
Scott LaFaro.
Scott LaFaro, Charlie Hayden.
I interviewed Charlie.
Really?
Yes, there's
That's
an
a
interview with
bad
me,
cat.
and Charlie Hayden on For Bass Players Only, and Ron
Sheesh. Yeah.
and Marcus and uh, Dave Holland.
Yeah. The cats. The
Yeah,
cats.
yeah. Trying to think of Patitucci. Now we're getting
Yeah.
another generation here. Christian a couple of times.
Christian.
So you've done a lot. You're still pretty young, and you've still got a lot of energy. As Phil Chen said to me once, I've still got a lot of notes left in me, and I think that applies to you.
I like
What
that.
about the future? What else would you like to do that you haven't done yet? Do you have you mentioned a lot of stuff that you're doing now, and I imagine there's something percolating and there's something you're working on. And in addition to that, maybe there's a someday I'll
Yeah.
fill in the
Oh
blank
yeah.
for me.
Someday I'll tour my own project. Um, like a world tour, like go to Europe, every continent, every continent, Europe, Asia, Africa, um, just my music. Uh, and I want to film score. I want to write music for a movie, a few movies. I don't want to just do one. Um, yeah, I want to produce for different artists. Like I would love to produce an album with shoot, like John Legend, uh, Chris Brown, uh, Kendrick, Lamar, uh, shoot, Braxton Cook, Lettucey. Yeah, like really getting in a producer bag. I'd love to MD for uh yeah, a major artist. Um, I
That's a
love to like be an MD for like one of the late night shows or just be on the late night show. Uh, I want to act too. Like I would love to get into like a TV show or a movie, just doing a acting role. Even if I just got to play bass at like a jazz club or something, and they needed like a fill-in there. Like I'd love to do something like that.
Oh, that was a thing. What did they call it? Sidelining or something?
Sidelining.
I had
Yeah.
a buddy that used to do that. Larry Steen. He said, "Yeah, I'm playing on like General Hospital or one of
Yeah.
those. They're in a restaurant and there's a band over there. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to do something like that. Um, yeah. I love to be married, have some kids, I start a healthy family. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot. There's a lot. I got to give myself grace sometimes because I'm 27 and I've been fortunate and blessed to just have the experiences that I've had up to this point. And I think one thing that is common for musicians, especially and artists, especially in this, the state of society now with Instagram and TikTok, and like we're just seeing so many highlight reels and how they're happening almost like overnight that we could want something like right away. We want it right away. We want to go straight to the thing. Um, but not realizing that there's there's a process that has to take place. There's timing. There's there's a journey that is beautiful. Like the journey itself is beautiful. And it's when you get to those moments, to those desired places that you can look back and like see all the people that you were on the journey with and like, wow, we really made it to this point. Like, look at us. But if you're not able to be present in just getting there, then it kind of it doesn't make that moment. It makes that moment a little more lonely, like a little empty, I should say, because you might still have people there with you, but you're not. It's not as fulfilling anymore because you were so locked in on, well, I gotta be here, I gotta be here, I gotta be here that you just missed all. Like Rodney Prof Whitaker, he told me because I almost quit bass. I think like my sophomore year, I went into a lesson and I'm like, nobody wants to call me for gigs. Nobody wants to play with me. I feel so behind. Everybody's been playing for years, whatever. And he was like, listen, man, like you gotta be nice to yourself. Like give yourself some grace. You know, if you're climbing a mountain, you don't climb the entire mountain in one day. Like you may climb a little bit and you can see significantly that there's been growth, there's been progress, and maybe you find a plateau where you just chill out for a little bit, look at where you came from. Like, wow, that was a lot. Chill here, get some more energy to keep climbing. And he was pointing out that, like, I had come a long way already, like in my sophomore year, from not knowing anything about jazz, not ever playing upright, to now sophomore year, like I'm playing better than when I started. So he was like, just look at what's happening. And it's the same thing just in life in general. Like we're not gonna get to the mountaintop in one day or one year. It's not gonna happen in one. It might be 2, 3 years. It might be one gig that leads to another gig that leads to somebody noticing something, and now that opportunity comes, and it's preparation that meets the opportunity, and then that's the mountaintop. Like that's how you get there. But it's important to what I'm learning is that it's important to just enjoy the climb, like enjoy the journey because there's no going back,
That's great.
unless you want to just fall off the cliff.
Very healthy, very mature perspective. You know what Rodney was doing the first time I met him?
What?
We met in the airport one time on a stopover on our way to a jazz convention we were both going to. There used to be an organization called the International Association of Jazz Educators,
Oh yeah.
and he was playing with Roy Hargrove.
Whoa.
So Roy and his band were at the airport. We're all at the same I don't remember what airport. It was like in between wherever we started and wherever we were going. And
Mm,
that's when I met him, struck up a conversation. This was probably about 1991, something like that. So he was already, a pretty highly regarded bass player, but
yeah.
he's still coming up. But look where he is now,
Yeah.
head of the jazz program at a major university, which is, by the way, about 3 or 4 miles from where I'm sitting right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm in East Lansing, Michigan right now.
What?
And you'll appreciate this. I'm so glad that I have a brother here because I'm a Wolverine. I'm not a Spartan. I'm a go
Well,
blue.
see, the thing is, I'm a Spartan now. I'm a Spartan now.
Well, you know what?
I go back and forth though. I feel like that it's the exception. I'm the exception because I like I've always loved Michigan State basketball. Always.
You
Because
know who was
Magic
on that
Johnson.
team when I was in high school? He was on the team. Magic was on the
See?
team. Stay here on the
So
radio.
I was always Michigan State basketball. I love Michigan State basketball.
My
So
daughter went there and she met her husband and they dressed their kids in Spartan clothes.
yeah.
No, no, no. So I used to
Ah!
say, you know what the hardest day of the year for me was when Michigan State played Ohio State. I didn't
Ooh,
know what to do because I wanted them both to lose.
yeah. That's tough. That's a tough spot to be in.
But you know what? So what? I'm still, it was great. I was in Ann Arbor. My son was playing. By the way, you may run into my son in LA. His name is Adam Liebman, but his show business name, like yours is B Rose, he's Adam James.
Adam James.
Yeah,
Okay.
he played on Dua Lipa's record last year, and
Oh, killing.
he's producing, he's writing, he does live sound. He went to Berkeley, plays guitar, and
Yeah.
he's, you know what? He's a good bass player. He doesn't sound like a guitar player playing bass when he plays the bass. When he plays,
Yeah.
he sounds like a bass player. So
Wow.
I'm sure your paths will cross. You've probably
Yeah.
met him at NAM shows. He was
I
little.
probably have. You'll have to connect us.
Absolutely. I will
That'd be
do it
great.
when we get offline here. But
Sweet.
I do have one more question for you.
Okay.
If you can imagine, Brandon, what would you be if you were not a bass player? Something outside of music.
Hmm. I'll probably be a pastor,
Okay. I
like
used to
a
work
youth
right across
pastor.
the street from your church, from Word of Faith. My building.
Yeah, the building's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to see the name Keith Butler, I think was his name.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yep.
That was it. Yeah, I remember like even like outside of just musical memories, I remember just being young and like always wanting to, I don't know, like kind of be in the shadows of the pastors. Like I was at a funeral of either a aunt, I think my aunt that I didn't really know. Um, but the preacher was like, all right, like, is there any pastors in the house that want to come up and like join me in prayer? And I'm like, I'm little. I was little, probably like 5 or 6. And I stand up, I'm like, oh, you know. So yeah, I remember just being at Word of Faith, like walking around with my Bible. Uh, and I would tell my mom, like, yo, here, hold my Bible. Because Bishop doesn't hold his Bible. So I need somebody to hold my Bible. Yeah. But I think I think it's those two callings are paired together because when I'm making my music, like my main goal is for people to experience and encounter God, like to get healed, to get uplifted, to inspire. Um yeah, and like kind of just the bunkle, is that the word? Yeah. Or dismantle any like false ideas that people may have developed about God. Um, and yeah, I feel like my music is really, it's a platform for me to do ministry, to just be a vessel for real. So like at every show, I have this song Surrender. Um, and I'll close the show typically with people, like I'll just ask everybody to like lift their hands and close their eyes and just think about something that may have been weighing on them like super heavy this week, or whatever is going on in their life. And collectively, like we all just kind of let go of it, you know. So it's still very important to me, and that's a heart posture for me. So I try to merge the two as much as possible.
It sounds like you found a way to make that all very fulfilling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for you. It is such a pleasure talking to you,
Yes,
Brandon.
sir.
And I keep saying I knew this would happen one day because every year I'd see you just a little bit taller, a little bit taller. You
Yeah,
were probably what, under 10 when your dad started taking you all the shows. And it's great to see it. I'm not surprised. It's great to see you doing so much, and I'm really excited to see where you're going to go from here. You're just
thank
getting
you.
started.
I'm just getting started. That's
Uh,
right.
Thanks for being on my show and
Thanks
for
for having me.
sharing your story with the For Bass Players Only audience. Very much appreciated. Much luck and continued success to you always.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
What an inspiring young man. A very enjoyable interview. Like I said at the beginning, I've known him and his dad since he was a young child, and not surprised at all with the incredible start to his career. And there's so much more great stuff that he's going to do. And I just feel it. And I know we'll all look forward to it and enjoy it. Thank you, Brandon. If you've ever wanted to learn bass, you should know that right now there are thousands of people inside the For Bass Players Only community, men and women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, even in their 80s. And you know what they're doing? They're learning bass. They're having the time of their life playing music that they love. You need to come join them and experience that incredible transformation for yourself. As I always say, you're never too old to groove, so let's play bass. I look forward to seeing lots more of you in and around the For Bass Players Only community. In the meantime, I'm John Liebman. Let's play bass.